Entrepreneurs who do not have the adventurer's spirit are advised not to start a business and just get down to business and find a better class. These issues, if you do not understand the direct flow into the hot industry, the probability is to pay tuition to accompany the run as cannon fodder.
Hi Dan, thanks for joining us for this interview in such a special way. Let's start with the most common question. How did you get started in business?
Hello, it's a pleasure to communicate with you in such a unique way. I am Dan Xu, English name Eleven. Colleagues and friends like to call me Dan. My path to foreign trade entrepreneurship began in 2016 when I was 31 years old. Prior to that, I spent 10 years as a purchasing and marketing executive in shipbuilding and elevators in large manufacturing industries. Those 10 years of my career as a professional manager gave me a deep understanding of the importance of the supply chain in international business, which also laid a solid foundation for my subsequent foreign trade entrepreneurial path, as I had a buyer's perspective that distinguished me from most of my counterparts and a wealth of real-world experience in procurement management. The idea of entrepreneurship stems from my clear planning of my career and my personality that likes to constantly challenge myself to achieve higher goals. As for the machinery industry at the beginning of my business, I didn't go through the same careful selection as today, and even did a bunch of in-depth research reports, just based on my trust and always optimistic attitude to get into the game. Through my own extreme research and hard work, as well as the past 10 years of executive experience, and years of accumulation of efficient learning and work skills, and ultimately in the B2B track, online trend dividend to stand out, and achieved a little bit of success.
As it turns out, successful entrepreneurship is as much about the accumulation of your past experiences as it is about keen insight. It is also therefore more interesting to know how you found your business model without any successful experience at the beginning.
Success really cannot talk about at best. We have found a way to move forward unswervingly. There will still be a lot of new unknown challenges and risks ahead, just that we are ready to do a certain amount of preparation. As for how to find a suitable business model under the premise of no successful experience, this is indeed a big problem in the foreign trade industry in general. First of all, the business model must rely on the founder's keen market insight. Will have a prototype. Simply put, that is, you have to at least know where there is money to be made. The foreign trade field, to make money in the industry every year, unless you are behind closed doors, cannot leave the house, or it is easy to access this information. Secondly, the business model is not always the same. The supply and demand of the market has been changing, the product is changing, the marketing approach is also constantly pushing the boundaries. So, the test of an entrepreneur centers on how deeply you understand the money-making opportunity you find at the beginning. Is it a short-term opportunity or a medium to long-term opportunity? Where are its competitive barriers likely to be? Is its input-output ratio or profitability up to the entrepreneur's expectations? These issues, if you do not understand the direct flow into the hot industry, the probability is to pay tuition to accompany the run as cannon fodder. Finally, a good business model must be able to fission and replication, meaning you have to refine a set of methodology from 0 to 1, from 1 to 10, because the vast majority of the industry may be in the process of you from 10 to 100 has been the sunset. Therefore, what we need to consider is how to build a professional and efficient team in the process of entrepreneurship, so that when leaders find new opportunities, they can be captured at any time. The above 3 points are my shallow views on business model in 8 years of foreign trade entrepreneurship. Through past in-depth research and analysis of hundreds of industries and more than 20 industries of real gold manipulation, we have perfected today's company business model step by step. Market research, company positioning, organizational structure, marketing layout.
Every road to success is full of hardships, but there must be signs to follow. Since you chose the road of international trade, what are the categories in which your main foreign trade industries are currently concentrated? Why did you choose them?
The foreign trade industries we target are concentrated in 2 areas. The first area is dominated by general demand business opportunities, such as cosmetics, sports and fitness equipment, LED lights, customized furniture, and kitchenware. The demand for these products, in all probability, will not disappear or decrease sharply at an extreme rate due to changes in the market. In this way, we can rest assured that we can invest money in the direction of product research and development the integration of online and offline marketing channels and independent brands going to C. The second field is based on industrialization support, such as power distribution equipment, energy storage equipment, electronic components, and so on. Whether it is a developed country or an emerging country, the development of industrialization is the foundation, so as long as there is industrialization to discover the layout of the market, there will be opportunities for us. This field, however, requires particularly strong technology and after-sales protection. So, our partner model and agent model play a particularly important role. As for why did you pick these industries? At the beginning of the venture, I certainly do not have such a high level of cognition and understanding. The core reason for the choice of most boards is based on the choice of people, followed by the opportunity to break ahead of most of the peers, and ultimately to meet the expected profitability. As the saying goes, different paths lead to different things. Over the past years, I did encounter a few more profitable opportunities, but the other party's values, business philosophy. I have difficulty in the same frequency, so ultimately did not enter the game. Choice over effort has been my motto for the past few years, and sometimes it's more important not to do than to do.
Choice is better than effort. You have repeated this phrase several times, and it does seem to be important to you. How do you deal with the risk and uncertainty of choice?
Entrepreneurs who do not have the adventurer's spirit are advised not to start a business and just get down to business and find a better class. Yu Qiuyu wrote Cultural Bittersweet Journey because he was inspired by an old American professor who was youthful and childlike. Although this professor was old, he traveled adventurously through many ethnic minority areas in southwest China, which gave Yu the vision to reacquaint himself with his motherland and generate thoughts and pursuits of Chinese culture. Risk and uncertainty are always with the entrepreneurial road. You have to have this cognition and mindset in order to enjoy this journey of entrepreneurship as much as possible in a bittersweet way. I have been studying philosophy since middle school, so I've always had a counterintuitive mindset that is different from most people, and many times I've seized opportunities in crises and led my company to grow in adversity. Looking back today, it is precisely because of these adversities and risks that my team and I have been able to better meet the challenges, always keep our heads up, guard against arrogance and optimize every aspect of the process, and always keep our entrepreneurial beginnings.
It's a time of opportunity and risk, and for many people, past experience doesn't seem to be enough. Do you have any predictions or advice for the future?
First, digitalization and intelligence are definitely the trend. Nowadays, every industry is leaning on digitalization, using social media, big data, artificial intelligence, and other high tech to improve efficiency. I think this trend will only become more and more obvious. Whether it is production, management, or marketing, have to keep up with this trend. Second, environmental protection and sustainability. These two key words are becoming more and more important. Now everyone is talking about green environmental protection. This trend will certainly be stronger in the future. Therefore, our companies have to consider how to make money while still being friendly to the environment and take the route of sustainable development. Third, the supply chain has to be flexible yet resilient. You see, a major event like an epidemic makes everyone realize that the supply chain has to be both globalized and localized with backups. In this way, even if something goes wrong in the world, our supply chain can still be stable. Fourth, the trend of personalization of customer demand is becoming more and more obvious. Customers are now very picky, and they want all kinds of products and services. Therefore, we have to be more refined, think what customers think, anxious customers anxious, more customized to meet their needs. Fifth, international competition and cooperation. Both hands must be played well. Under the environment of globalization, it is inevitable to fight with foreign competitors. But at the same time, we must also look for opportunities to cooperate and do something great together. If you want to know more about this, please feel free to send me a private message through Floyd.
Thank you for your sincere sharing. I also welcome you to come along and have an in-depth conversation with us offline. Finally, I would like to ask you this question for every entrepreneur, startup, and those who are about to embark on the path of entrepreneurship. Do you have your own definition of success?
Success in my eyes means reaching desired goals in stages. When you're young, you have to keep your feet on the ground, and cheaper goals are not embarrassing, but more tangible. For example, 18 years ago, as soon as I stepped out of school and started working, my goal was to buy a house, a car, and get married on my own, not on my family. So my own definition of success at that time was to make a few $1,000,000 first. That was impossible to achieve with just a normal working salary, so I would have to put in more time to study and work hard while acquiring a better stage to make it possible. In the end, it took me 2 years to achieve the first stage of my goals in the workplace. The definition of success for each of the later stages is different, and each person can define it according to her own deepest truth. Even if it is the definition of making more money, it is okay. As for my own definition of success at this stage, it is to be able to take a back seat and still have the ability to adapt to the market and capture new business opportunities. At the same time, I can also lead some like-minded foreign trade business owners to walk the same path until the goal is accomplished. This path may take 5, 10 years or more, so I will continue to move forward towards this self-defined success goal, because the next stage of my success goal has been clear within me for a long time. Because of the different stages of the goal, you enjoy the process, and the scenery along the way are all valuable treasures in this life.
Thank you, Dan, for your candid sharing. The process of reaching the top is not an ordeal, but an enjoyable one. Different heights have different excitement, and the same will be the expectation and longing for the scenery at the limit of the visual range. I always believe that there must be one thing in this world that only you can do, and then make the world different because of you.